5 out of his next 6 bouts. But he won his last bout, and he wants to extend that win streak.
Let's see how they compare, numerically speaking.
Well, Soto Karass is 3 years younger, but he might be older in terms of his ring age. He is 1 inch taller, and he does have a very slight reach advantage. 1 inch in wingspan. And there he is, the veteran.
All right, we are ready for the official introductions. Joe Martinez, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the hangar here at the OC Fairgrounds, Costa Mesa, California, it is time for the main event of the evening. 10 rounds scheduled in the junior middleweight division. The Dominican Republic taking on Mexico. Brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions with sponsors Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, and DeWalt Power Tools. DeWalt, guaranteed tough. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the Executive Officer George Dodd, Chairman John Frierson. The 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside on the 10-point must system, Pat Connolly, Max DeLuca, and Dr. James Jenkin. When the bell rings, the action inside the ring begins. Your referee in charge, Raul Caiz Jr. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready and the fighters are ready. Fight fans, make some noise if you are ready! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing black trunks trimmed in white, he weighed in 151 1/2 pounds. As a professional, he brings an outstanding record into the ring, 20 victories, including 14 knockouts, just 2 defeats, and 1 bout even. De Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, by way of San Juan de la Manguana, de República Dominicana, here is Euri, el Millón González. And next, his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing sky blue trunks trimmed in white, he weighed in also 151 1/2 pounds. His professional record, this veteran brings 25 victories, including 16 knockouts, 7 defeats, and 3 bouts even. Presentando el hijo de los Mochis, Sinaloa, México, el revuente, Jesús Soto Karass.
Second only, please. Protector. Protector. Ya recibieron las instrucciones. Sabes que les pido una pelea limpia. Golpes legales son de aquí para arriba, mira bien. Toca guante, buena suerte a los dos. Vamos a trabajar.
All right, stage is set then for the main event. You look at Soto Karass' record, 25-7-3, and you think, well, journeyman of sorts, but you really have to look at the opposition. Started his career in 2001, unbeaten in his first 12 bouts, then lost 3 straight, but those 3 undefeated prospects combined their records to 48-0.
That tells you something.
So it tells you something right there. Second stage of his career, he goes 15 straight fights without a loss. All but one of those opponents had a winning record as well.
And at that point, he was considered a top 10 contender by the WBC, and he was, he was knocking on that door to a title shot. He was so close, and then he loses a technical decision to Alfonso Gomez, and he was derailed for a couple of years.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen here as we take a breather there. Last four of his last 6 fights, he's lost,
including a knockout loss at junior middleweight to Gabriel Rosado earlier this year.
And again, the combined record of those opponents in the last 6 fights, 117-11.
That's a good point.
So this guy's not...
He's not fighting chumps.
No,
he's not fighting bums. And you know what? He's the more battle-tested of the 2 fighters. Even though he's younger by 3 years, he's older in terms of his ring experience.
Oh, nice.
Euri Gonzalez.
Connects there by Euri.
But Gonzalez is the better athlete. Gonzalez is the guy with the speed and the power. Although Soto Karass is no slouch in the punching power department either. He delivers his shots with very nice leverage when he's at his best.
Gonzalez also has the better knockout percentage, about 60% compared to about 44% on Soto Karass.
And you see, Gonzalez is the guy who can get on his toes. He likes to keep that left hand down, but he generally keeps his chin tucked behind his left shoulder, likes to shoulder roll and come back with the right hand. So he's a boxer, but he's a boxer puncher, and he's an aggressive boxer puncher.
This is Gonzalez you're talking about?
Yes. And Karass, more of a pressure fighter.
Yep.
But he's somebody who can box from the outside. He has a jab. His problem is that he just doesn't have the speed to contend with the Dominican. He's going to have to time his punches.
But as you know, this guy, we're talking about Soto Karass, he's a warrior. And indeed, relentless. He never stops fighting.
The flip side to that mentality is that he's been in a lot of wars, and you have to wonder at what point does his body have enough. And he's coming off a victory. He's coming off a 10-round split decision win over Saeed El-Harraq, you know, who at least was a prospect at one time. But he didn't look good, even though he won that fight. He looked like he was boxing underwater. He looked slow, sluggish. And even his management admits that he didn't look good in that fight, and they're expecting him to look better in this fight because they said he had a better camp. Gonzalez will have to be careful when he's against the ropes because Karass will hurt him to the body.
Last 5 seconds of the fight.
Good first round. There's that record, 25 wins, 7 losses, 3 draws, but we have to tell you, 15 bouts unbeaten in between those rough patches.
Yeah. And there is Soto Karass trying to throw some wicked blows. A lot of instructions we have to step aside during the break, but both corners during those 60 seconds on that stool, boy, did the corners have something to say.
What did they tell Karass? Because I thought Karass lost that first round.
They were asking him for higher output of punches.
He's doing that.
More hooks, which he also did to start this second round.
And what did Gonzalez's corner instruct him to do?
Everything. It was the cliff notes of boxing in 60 seconds.
Work your jab, work the body, stick and move. Both guys generally like to be the boss in there. They like to force their opponent back into the ropes, and that's where they do the majority of their damage. Right now, it's Soto Karass who is backing up Gonzalez. Although Gonzalez is watching his every move, perhaps hoping to walk him into a power punch.
And also trying to use his speed as Karass comes in, at least trying to use his jab a little bit more than Soto Karass.
While Gonzalez waits, he has to be careful about being outworked by Soto Karass.
Yeah. So Gonzalez, obviously the quicker of the two.
He's the quicker, he's the more athletic.
Not the most active.
Yeah, he seems to fight in spots, and his punches are kind of wide. He goes wide when he goes to the body. But he has a nice jab, and he has a nice counter right.
Oh, Karass goes up top.
Yeah, grazing.
His second one in the same place.
Grazing right hands to the left side of his face, but very hard left hooks to the body.
Still, that left hand by Gonzalez is in the same position. You would think that, you know, if you've been clocked 3 times in the same place, you bring up your guard.
He's not used to doing that. He's comfortable with that left hand down, like a lot of fighters
are.
He
might be comfortable on the canvas, too, if he doesn't get that.
Most fighters who keep that left hand down are defensive specialists, guys who lean back. And now he's going to the body.
Fish just punching inside.
You can hear the impact. Karass landed a nice short left to the body. Karass in the southpaw stance. Yeah, I don't know who won this round, as a matter of fact. I think I'm giving it to Soto Karass. Hell of a round.
All right, well, we're going to have a chance to invade the corners and see what the instructions sound like. It's a little bit more calm now.
I wonder if Soto Karass's corner is satisfied by the work he did in that second round.
Yeah, this is Gonzalez's corner now.
That's Luis Perez who's talking in Gonzalez's corner. He's the head trainer there.
Saying you don't need to give him extra opportunities or chances. If you're just standing there, you're not giving yourself an opportunity.
Early in this round, it was all Karass, and by mid-round, he had Gonzalez's back to the ropes, and you see landing body punches and overhand rights. But towards the end of the round, Euri Gonzalez came back, pushed Karass into a corner, and really worked the body with his left and right.
Yeah, and the corner asking for more of those overhand rights. Two guys in his face the whole time. If I was a fighter, I think I want a little bit more tranquility in my corner.
These guys are used to going to war. They're used to chaos.
It's a team, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's mayhem in there.
You see how they fight. These are aggressive, experienced boxers.
So you're saying that Soto Karass is not the Zen boxer?
Yeah, you know, his natural temperament is laid back, and I think the corner kind of has to get in his chest and yell a little bit to wake him up, because sometimes he sleepwalks in there.
Yes.
Sometimes he gives rounds away. So they have to stay on him. They say that he trained a lot better for this fight than he did his previous bout. And like I said, his previous bout, he was sluggish. He gave some rounds away. That's why it was a split decision and not a unanimous decision. They want more from him. And I'm sure Gonzalez's corner wants the same thing, because Gonzalez seems to fight in spots. His spots are impressive, though. He's a dynamic fighter when he lets his hands go. Sometimes maybe he's thinking a little too much.
Maybe also unwilling to take more chances. The more you throw, the greater the possibility of getting nailed.
That's true, but it doesn't seem like Karass has hurt him at any point during this fight, but maybe Karass has hurt him, and Gonzalez just hasn't shown it.
And then again, if that's your style, you have a certain tendency to do that, but you're right. He seems to be the total package, Gonzalez. If he only worked a little harder, if he tried more things.
That's the only missing element.
Yeah. Because he definitely looks, he looks the part of a great fighter.
Yes.
Soto Karass there is that now a left.
Hey, and Gonzalez doesn't just look the part. Gonzalez is a fighter. You can put it on Gonzalez, and he'll come right back. And that's what made his fight with Canelo Alvarez such a barn burner, and that's what's making this fight such an entertaining contest.
Any idea what the origin of the nickname El Millón, which is the million?
No. Maybe he aspires to be a millionaire one day.
Or maybe they think he looks like $1 million in there. Who knows?
He's looking pretty good right now. He's got Soto Karass's back to the ropes.
Yeah.
And this is usually when Gonzalez tees off to the body.
There it is. Nice call there, Doug.
I did my homework on this one, Mario.
Good prediction there. Last 5 seconds of another thrilling round.
Action from the third round. Here's a right uppercut followed by a left hook from Gonzalez as he maneuvers off the ropes.
And that was precisely the advice from Gonzalez's corner. Stay away from the ropes, especially the corner.
That's good advice. It's good advice for both fighters, because it seems like both guys do their most of their work when the other guy is pinned to the ropes. Gonzalez not listening to his corner's advice right now.
Not.
Standing right there, and he ate an overhand right. At least he is keeping that left hand up now. These guys are going tit for tat, though. One guy will tee off, and then the other one comes back and tees off on him. I scored the first round for Gonzalez. I thought Soto Karass came back very nicely in the second round.
So how do you have it after 3?
I've got Gonzalez up 2 rounds to 1. Okay. I scored the third round for Gonzalez. But they're very close rounds. They're competitive. And if any of these guys is going to show us some lateral movement, it's going to be Gonzalez.
Absolutely, which he should be using at this point.
problem with Gonzalez is when he does move out of the way, he's not punching. He's not like he's jabbing as he's moving around his guy. He just moves, then he plants his feet and either takes punches or delivers punches. And now that Karass is against the rope, Soto Karass, Gonzalez comes on. This has been the pattern of the fight so far. It's nothing really pretty from these guys. They're in there, they try to get into position, and then they slug away. They're not finesse fighters, in other words. They're very physical, very strong. And they don't pity-pat in there, Mario. All of these punches, you hear the impact. These are all hard shots. Man, nice right hand from Gonzalez, and Soto Karass just kind of walks through it.
Yeah, they're not trying to win by points.
No, they are really trying to impose their will on the other man. Right now, it looks like Soto Karass is the more willful of the two, but I think Gonzalez is doing a nice job of mixing his punch salvos with some lateral movement.
Yeah, and trying to mix it up a little bit now. That winding punch, and still that kind of challenging defense with that left arm down, the left hand down. If he's a defensive specialist, I guess he's got to show that now.
It's another good round. Two-fisted action from Euri Gonzalez in that fourth round. Left, right, left, right, left, right. 1-2 combinations in succession. However, I scored that round for Soto Karass. I thought he was the more consistent fighter through the 3 minutes. And I thought he got...
Oh! Beautiful
nice
right there by Soto Karass. The corner had instructed Gonzalez to stick and move. Don't stand there. Play with him. And he paid the price.
Can't play around with Soto Karass. This guy is a grizzled veteran.
And now he's going for the kill. Let's see if he can finish this. Right to the middle. Actually, 2.5 minutes left in round 5. He's got plenty of time. Yes.
He's got to be careful not to punch himself out.
Around.
Right. And not to leave himself open while he's trying to finish Gonzalez.
Receiving ear warning from the third man in the ring.
Raul Caiz Jr. giving Gonzalez a breather, and now Gonzalez is giving himself a breather by tying Soto Karass up on the inside.
Yeah, I think Soto Karass was trying to take advantage of the situation and maybe trying to repeat that right now, but it seems like Gonzalez has completely regained his strength.
He recuperates fast, yeah. But I see Soto Karass is looking to land that overhand right again. And as you'll notice, Gonzalez, when he jabs, he kind of paws with it and doesn't bring his left hand back to his chin. And as we noted earlier in the bout, he likes to carry the left hand low, so that right hand, there you go, on cue. Gonzalez is there to be hit by a right hand, particularly an overhand. There's another right.
Same spot, and the referee says,
Caiz Jr.
showing up. This one.
Tremendous win for Jesus Soto Karass, his second victory this year.
Just when you thought that Gonzalez was doing what was required to kind of lead the fight in his direction, he didn't listen to the corner. He didn't decide to do the sticking and the moving. Stayed in one place and paid a very, very dear price for that.
This is a very good win for Jesus Soto Karass. He did not look good in his split decision victory in his last fight, and at the beginning of the year he was knocked out by Gabriel, forget the guy's name, but a junior middleweight up-and-comer, Gabriel Rosado, just remembered. But now 2 consecutive victories.
We're going to have a chance chance to look at the knockdown. This is a first knockdown.
He's backing him up to the ropes with his jab and overhand right on the button. Once again, backed him up with a jab to the chest, over right hand on top. Deposits Gonzalez into the ropes and to the canvas. That was the first knockdown of round 5. As we see,
Gonzalez simply tired, or
I think he just got caught.
Not defending himself properly.
He said he was in tip-top shape for this fight. He had gone 8 rounds in his previous bout, although that was a loss to a 15-0 prospect.
And here's how it ended. As Soto Karass and the rest of his team celebrate this win.
He's covering up as he's, his legs were not underneath him. He ate a clean right hand, needed the ropes to hold him up. Kais Jr. recognized that he wrapped his right arm around the rope to keep himself upright. So he's still woozy right here. It wasn't a big right hand down the middle. It just kind of touched him, and he lost his legs. See it from this angle. Well, he would say it was more than a touch.
Oh,
yeah, he wound up. You're right.
That one.
You're right. Soto Karass had his feet under him.
Yeah. All right. We are ready now for the official announcement. Joe Martinez, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute, 50 seconds. Round number 5. Referee Raul Kais Jr. calls a halt to the bout for your winner by KO victory, el renuente Jesus Soto Karass.
Well, that's his second win in a row, and not just any win. This obviously does a lot for his psyche as he's starting to string wins together again. After the break, we will hear from the winner. Doug will have Soto Karass when we come back. All right, we are back. Jesus Soto Karass weathered the storm as he fought a very able Euri Gonzalez. Karass put Gonzalez in tremendous danger, didn't close it out, but eventually he did. And now, my colleague, Doug Fisher, is in the ring with the winner. Doug, take it away.
Thank you, Mario. And with the winner, Jesus Soto Karass, and his manager, Francisco Pancho Espinosa, who will translate for us. Francisco, I thought this was going to be a much harder fight, a distance fight. Can you ask Jesus if he's surprised that he got him out of there in the 5th round?
Jesús dice que ellos y todo el mundo estaba pensando que iba a ser una pelea pues mucho más larga. Dura, sí sabíamos que iba a ser dura, pero que se iba a alargar mucho. ¿Qué fue lo que pasó?
Pues mira, pues lo que pasó fue que pues, estuvimos trabajando, ¿no? Euri es un buen peleador, es rápido, lo sentí que era rápido, pero tanto yo como la esquina, como ustedes fueron descubriendo el blanco, que él bajaba mucho a la derecha, perdón, la izquierda, me empezaron a decir que trabajara con mi recta de derecha.
Okay. First of all, say that he was expecting, a very hard and difficult fight. But, according to the rounds, we noticed, we at the corners, that, this guy was dropping his left hand a lot. So we started tell Jesus, your right hands, straight and uppers.
And it was the right hands that hurt Euri Gonzalez. It's the right hands that put him down. Let's look at the first knockdown. You tell us what you're watching here, Jesus.
Sí.
Izquierda, que lo tumbaste, que mires la pelea, ¿qué fue lo que pasó?
Fue en la recta, fue lo que tú me estuviste diciendo, tanto tú como Yuquita, que tiraba como con mi derecha recta o volada.
Yeah, he said, we told him, concentrate on your right straight. And that's what he did. You see right there, straight right hand, and he's putting down.
That's the knockout punch, and referee Raul Kais had seen enough. Here's another angle.
Así es, y también el señor Sarabia me dice que esté trabajando con mi jab. Y yo creo que eso fue lo que hice, estuve trabajando para que viniera mi recta.
Basically, it was a teamwork. Sarabia, his trainer, Yuquita Morales, they did a tremendous job, and I think we got the Soto Karass, for long.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I saw your last fight. You got the victory in your last bout, but you didn't look like Jesus Soto Karass. Tonight, you look like the real Jesus Soto Karass. Did you feel good in there? Do you feel like you can still be a contender?
Dice que la vez pasada te miraron pelear y aún así ganaste la pelea, pero que no miraron un Soto Karass que diferente.
Es el trabajo en el gimnasio.
Okay, that's what it is, the work at the gym. That's the key point.
Lo que uno
Okay, what he does here, I mean, is the work at the gym. So he did pretty good, I mean, and I'm very proud.
Fue la continuación, ¿no? Que peleé el 26 de mayo y luego rápido mi papá me consiguió la fecha para el 7 de julio. Yo creo que no tuve ni un desarreglo, estuvimos en el gimnasio todo el tiempo.
So, I mean, continuation, I mean, right after that fight, I mean, we got in a date, I mean, thanks to Eddie Gomez, I mean, the Golden Boy, they gave us, I mean, the opportunity, and so we got in a date, and this is the result, I mean.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, you knocked out a guy in 5 rounds. It took Saul Canelo Alvarez 11 rounds to stop, and that was a bit of a quick stoppage. So who knows, another win or two, maybe another title shot, or your first title shot, actually. So congratulations again.
Mario, back to you.
All right, Dad, thank you, and yeah. Very
Good job.
win tonight for Jesus Soto Karass. Coming up, we've got some bonus action in the junior featherweight division. Jose Gonzalez against Jesus Carmona.